Welcome to the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie, powered in part by Studio E and Classic of Denton. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Denton Vibe. You've got a bit of a different lineup tonight than you would normally have. I am not Diva Girl Ellie.
I know.
I am Jake Laughlin filling in for Diva Girl Ellie. With the weather changing and all that good stuff, It feels like everybody has got some different allergy issues and things like that going on. And hopefully Ellie will be back next week. But she is enjoying some very well-deserved rest. Yes. Hey, Ellie from home.
Get some rest.
Hope you're having a good time. Sitting across from me is a local celebrity and honestly global celebrity if you go look at her IMDb page and all that good stuff. But tonight we are here to talk about Thin Line with the one and only Susan Davis. So tell us, for anybody that's not been paying attention, tell us a little bit about Thin Line and what we can expect to see this year.
Well, it's our 12th year, and we, again, have film, photography, and music.
Love it.
A lot of variety. Thanks to some wonderful funding that came to us, we have the largest number of filmmakers, musicians, photographers coming to town that we've ever had.
So
and I mean
cool.
coming from Australia, France, all parts of the United States, British Columbia, you name it. And they start coming in, actually, they just started arriving tonight.
All right.
So, and it's been so amazing to find people in town who would step up to help with, for instance, we have a French filmmaker coming who doesn't speak a great deal of English. So the Cohen School has a French teacher who has offered to do a lot of, showing around town and giving her the first American experience.
Love that.
Yes. And then, gosh, we have composers coming with the filmmakers. People who made the score for a film are coming. Wow. A film that is about Iran and some of the situations there. I don't know if you've ever been to Thin Line, but there are 23 feature films and 43 short films.
Wow.
And the variety is really all over the map. And what I mean by that is it's online, thinline.us, or you'll see one of these around town. Pick one up. And if you just go in a couple of pages or spend 5 minutes on the website, I really believe you'll find something that you want to go see.
Yeah.
And one of the things we've done differently this year is we have community partners for most of our film programs.
Cool.
For instance, United Way or Friends of the Family, Stop the Stigma, Caring for Women, just a whole variety of them. St. Andrew Presbyterian Church.
Very cool.
And I asked the community partners if they would also help with the Q&A after the film, because the community partner that we matched with a film had something to do with the subject of the film. So we felt like people from the nonprofit organizations could really have a vibrant Q&A with the audience, because not only do they know about the subject, but they've seen the film with the audience and can really relate. So that's something new. People will go in to see a film and see one film host, and they'll go to see another one, and they'll see a completely different person.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, we had even gotten the chance to talk briefly about some of the examples of what people are going to see. Give us a few more examples of some of the things, if you can, without giving too much away, as to what people can see, these special surprises that are paired with these films. Okay.
Have you ever heard of F-1D airplanes? You know what those are?
No, not really.
They are planes that are built out of balsa wood and very, very fine light materials, and they're powered by a rubber band.
What?
Yes, that's right. And they're about, yay big. It's something that has been around for many, many years in world championships in places like caves in Romania. Very deep, cavernous places where there's not a lot of air circulating. But we actually have one of the people who's done that for many, many years in a film called Float.
Okay.
And he is going to do a demonstration from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at St. Andrew Presbyterian Church in the gym.
Wow.
And he happens to have invited one of the oldest, most revered F1D flyers who lives in the Plano area to come and demonstrate with him. So it's really hard to explain how unique and different that is, but
Yeah.
no sound, just seeing the planes, powered by this, these
Rubber bands.
rubber bands, yeah.
Wow.
But they have to
cool.
build the planes, and that's one of the things that is they have to master that craft.
Yeah.
We have one of our filmmakers going to visit the Kristen Farmer Center for Autism at University of North Texas because her film is about a young boy named Ethan who she knew and filmed for over 12 years. Yeah. So she's going to talk with the staff and the faculty and perhaps meet some of the parents and encourage them to come see the film. We have one of our filmmakers who's also a professional dancer, and she is going to teach a class over at Texas Women's University, Department of Dance. Her name is Kara Hagan, and her film is called Sound and Soul. And the filmmaker who's going to the Kristen Farmer Center for Autism is Jo Sintenfeld, and her film is called Ethan.
Wow.
And then you heard me say float for the planes up there in the air. Let me think. I think there's at least one more thing. Well, those are pretty good ones to start you off.
Yeah, those are good taster. Yeah. Well, and that's what's so interesting about Thin Line is people hear, okay, it's Thin Line, it's a documentary festival. And then they find out that not only are there all these other features to go along with the film, you've also got music and photography and comedy this year. And all these other things. And it's free, if we haven't mentioned that already.
Oh, I forgot the 80s dance party. We have a film called Dons of Disco. Yeah.
Okay.
Dons of Disco. It's about lip syncing scandal. And so we're going to have an 80s party at Alamo Draft House after that screens on Friday night.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. So when you're, I mean, for me, like when I go watch it, like when I saw the Dukes of Hazzard movie, I just wanted to drive home quickly. You know, if you go see a kung fu movie, you're ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what's so cool about this is you're watching this film and now you're in it, and then you get to have this experience that goes along with the film, which is exactly what you want to do at that point.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool concept. I love it.
Great.
And the fact that you get to be so interactive and just dive in.
We like that.
It's just so cool. I mean, this is not some small town film festival.
No,
this is the real deal.
It really, we have film festivals contacting us, distribution companies, filmmakers themselves, reaching out to us and saying, we would like to be in your festival. We do have quite a number of submissions that come to us beginning in September, and the cutoff is the end of January. But all through that time, I'm both receiving inquiries and also going out and looking myself because not always does a submission come to you on a particular topic that you think Denton would just truly enjoy. Right. We have many a film from South by Southwest this year, Sundance, Slam Dance, Doc NYC. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we look for the highest quality, the greatest variety, and we want them to be entertaining as well as informative.
Yeah.
So
cool.
So people a lot of filmmakers are coming here who've never been to Texas and they've never been to Denton, and they are so excited.
That's so cool. So very, very cool. Well, and now correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I heard through the grapevine that Thin Line is now the largest all-documentary festival in Texas?
Yes, it is.
That's really impressive.
And they're not I'll mention some of the ones that are around the country.
Yeah.
There is Big Sky. That happens in February before us. True False, very popular one that happens about this time. I mean, those are two of the bigger ones that we have in the same ballpark with us, and we will have filmmakers come from those festivals, that have been there earlier in the spring now come to us.
Yeah.
So
that's so cool. So cool. And everybody's reaction when we tell them that there's a film festival coming up or a documentary film festival coming up is always different. And some people start to get very intellectual, and then other people go, well, I don't know if I want to do that much thinking on a Saturday or something. And what I always like to tell people is, one, you've got a wide variety of all sorts of different content. We're going to be sitting down with the people from Well Groomed tomorrow, which we're really excited about. But for anybody that hasn't seen this, it's this really intricate, wild, just out of this world dog grooming that they've done this whole film on. And I mean, it's really, really cool. But that's not something that I'm assuming that's not something that's going to be emotionally draining or anything. It's just going to be, fun and an interesting world to dive into. So it doesn't, where you've got the things, you can do the intellectual stuff, or we can talk about some really serious things in our world, or we can do this, but you can also find some things like Well Groomed that are just going to be really fun.
And we really try to balance it through the scheduling. Sometimes the schedule is dependent on when the filmmaker can be here, but we really try to build it so that there's a momentum that's building all the time.
Well, and it also excites me that you guys have so many shorts that people can go check out.
Oh, yes. And we have a lot of students from University of North Texas who are represented in the festival this year. In fact, my assistant film director is Rania Almalke, and she is in the MFA student program.
Very cool.
She did a lot of work with the short filmmakers, really a big help to me. But gosh, yes, we do have a big program of UNT films, particularly on Friday afternoon, I believe, is it 5:30? At Alamo Draft House. It's called Shorts Program 3. And Jonathan Paul's going to be the film host for that.
Cool.
And many a North Texas film in that. So
it's just so fun. And I always tell people, if you've never been to a film festival before, shorts give you such a great opportunity.
They really do.
To just kind of dip your toe in the water and see if you like this thing, and then it'll suck you in. And it's a really cool deal.
Yeah, our shorts programs have names this year. The first one is called Look Up.
Okay.
That's on Thursday at 6, and that's about space and flight. Then we have another one called 2 by 2 on Thursday night, and what it is all the films in that program could be paired with a feature film. Cool. And so it's going to be kind of a guessing game for the audience to figure out, what film would that have gone with if you could have paired it? Yeah. One about adventuresome people, one about challenges that people face. So that's been kind of, and it doesn't always happen like intentionally. You just start putting films together that seem to be right together. Yeah. And then you realize that's why, because there really was a common thread. So.
Nice.
And I have a film in the festival this year. Yay!
Really? Well, let's talk about that.
Oh, well, it's called Mac Minded.
Okay.
And it is about Dr. Pauline Beery Mack, who was a wonderful, dedicated professor at Texas Women's University in the 1950s and 60s up into the 70s. Wow. And she worked with NASA on a contractual basis doing bed rest studies to determine the effect of space travel on the body.
Okay.
Now, if you've been reading your paper lately, you might have noticed in USA Today that NASA is offering you $19,000 if you will do a bed rest study with them again, this time as they think about going to Mars. Whoa. So these bed rest studies began here in Denton.
Okay.
And the astronauts like Neil Armstrong came to Denton and had their heels and hands x-rayed before they went into flight. And then after they came out, then Dr. Mack would send people to the places, the aircraft carriers, basically, where they came out of the water.
Cool. And this is in Denton.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And you've heard of Mack Park?
I've heard the name, but
it's down on McKinney. And she lived in that wonderful, beautiful white home. That was her home. It was just a very, very bright woman, but also people thought of her as very, what's the word? I guess eccentric a bit. Okay. Because she wore a mink stole or a mink coat and white tennis shoes all the time.
All the time.
Pretty much as she lived her years out at TWU. She was cold-natured. And she wanted to be steady on her feet. I think she was very practical, actually. So.
Yeah, hey, that makes an awful lot of sense. Mink coat, white tennis shoes.
Yeah, so TW, Texas Women's University, this is their film, Mac
cool.
Minded, and I had the privilege of being able to direct it and worked with Claire Desjardins as my editor, who is an MFA student at UNT, and Deanna Titzler, who's in the marketing department at TWU. She was one of my associate producers. So we had a tight group. And Melina Stuckey, who grew up here with me.
Okay.
Yes, Melina did our research. She was our research producer.
Man, that is so cool. I didn't know you had a film in the fest this year. That's so cool. I love that.
Thank you, TWU.
Now let's rewind a little bit to the $19,000 for the sleep study. What are we talking about?
I'm you want to get okay? How you sign on?
Yeah.
Well, what happens in space is without gravity, your bones don't really know. They don't have the tension, the pull on them, so they begin to have similar problems to osteoporosis, like you would have on Earth.
Yeah.
And so if you think of the extended kind of travel you're going to have going to Mars,
right,
you're going to have some serious problems unless they address how to dress the astronauts, how to prepare the diets and those sorts of things for them.
Interesting. Yeah.
And they're TWU students who actually just have created a shirt that you would wear under your astronaut outfit. That doesn't sound good.
Uniform, maybe?
Yeah. They called the Acolytes of Apollo, and they won a big competition with NASA, creating this shirt that NASA may consider, which stimulates the muscles in the back, which then work with the bones. So I'm not a scientist explaining that all that clearly, but
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excuse me.
So if you want to find out about that film, when can people go?
That is the first shorts program called Look Up, Shorts Program 1 at 6 p.m. on Thursday, April 11th at Alamo Drafthouse.
Love it. Now, if anybody, let's rewind to the whole festival. If people want to go see these films, where should they go?
One sip.
Because there's a couple of different options, right?
There are. First, you want to register at thinline.us.
Right.
Very simple. It doesn't take you but about 3 minutes. But why I suggest doing that is so when you get to the theaters, pardon me.
No, you're fine.
You can just go to the check-in table, give them your name,
right,
and you'll get a little pass to wear around your neck. We are opening at the campus theater with Well Groomed on tomorrow night. Then, pardon me.
Oh, you're okay.
We shift over to the Alamo Drafthouse then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Mm-hmm. And we have screenings at the campus Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, too.
Very cool.
A lot.
Very cool. Now, a few weeks ago, this is way off topic, but a few weeks ago, Ellie could not stop coughing. She got in this terrible coughing fit. No. This isn't. But I know at home she's watching right now, and her heart is going out to you.
Yes.
Yeah, she's here in spirit.
I'm telling you,
poor thing just could not. I was passing her like cough drops off camera and things like that. We were going through a whole big deal, but that's been our running joke.
I call it the Texas tickle.
The
it's
Texas
in the
tickle.
back of your throat.
'Tis the season.
Yes,
the season for the Texas tickle. That's a good tongue twister right there. Like, 'tis the season for the... Anyways, moving forward. Okay, so Alamo Drafthouse Campus Theater. Now, I've also heard that there is a shuttle that will be bringing people between the theaters. So if you want to park at one and then go to the other.
They're offering a shuttle. I was going to tell you, too. There's a wonderful concert at Dan Silverleaf, 9 p.m. on Saturday with Bill Hearn. Bonnie and Bill Hearn were really a legendary couple in Texas, Kerrville Music Festival and all the like. They were both blind and both superb musicians in every way. She's no longer living, but he is, and he is going to be playing at Dan's at 9 p.m. on Saturday.
Cool.
There's a film about him on Friday night called New Mexico Rain.
Again,
So
I just love
we
all
like
of
to
these
weave
things that get
things.
paired together. It's so
Well,
cool.
that's the way it should be. That's the way life is.
Man,
You know?
it's for all of the offerings that you have, for all of these different really really special and unique things. For this to be a free festival is absolutely incredible.
Well,
It's really really cool.
we have wonderful people who do support us. We have businesses. We have individuals. We have grants and foundation money that come our way, and we do have VIP passes, which are
Right.
$99.
Which is a steal.
It's a steal, and with that, you get to be seated first at any of the theaters, and you also can go to our green room, which is where you'll be able to hang out with some of the artists and get to know them better. And yeah, anything that's happening, a reception, anything like that that might otherwise be closed to the public is open to anyone with a VIP pass.
So cool. So cool. Well, Susan, thank you so much for coming here.
Well,
and-
you're welcome.
and hanging out with us and telling us a little bit more about
We
Thin
have
Line.
we're all volunteer staff. Joshua Butler, festival director, Mindy Arndt,
Incredible
marketing,
Denton Nights, by the way.
Michael Fraga. Brian Denny, Dallas Quilt. Carrie Peterson, Maria Carpenzano. We're a good team, and but we need Denton to make this festival continue. So don't be overwhelmed when you look at a big book or a big listing. Just pick at least one or two, and you'll be glad you did.
Yeah. I love it. Well, guys, we're going to take a slight break and hear a little bit from Ellie Meyer, and then we're going to be back with some of the folks from the upcoming show Bullshot that you are not going to want to miss, so make sure you stick around for that. We're going to play you a little bit of music, take a quick break. We'll be right back right here. Don't go anywhere. And make sure you check out Thin Line.
Volunteer. You can still volunteer
for Thin
too.
Line, guys. It all goes down tomorrow, right?
Yes, it does.
all kicks
but
off.
you can volunteer still on our website. That's a good way to do it.
Hey, don't miss out, guys. Volunteering is the way to get involved in all these cool things going on. So make sure you check it all out. Again, thinline.us.
That's right. Simple.
She's Susan Davis, the one and only.
No. Denton's the one and only.
Make sure you check it all out at Thin
Denton's
Line.
the one and only.
Right here.
Thank you.
You change your mind like the weather here in Texas. Your lips don't say a word, but I can see it in your eyes. You're not sure if you want to rain or shine. You tell yourself you're moving on, cause you can't leave it all behind. You're 2 steps forward, but your feet just won't leave. You've got your whole life in front of you, but to take the back seat you should burn that bridge just so you'll pick a side. Oh baby, I know you don't wanna say it, but you need me in your life. You've been a mess, you've been a wreck, you've been everywhere and back, and I'm not sure where you've been, but I can only guess. Cause you're not sure if you want it to rain or shine. You tell yourself you're moving on, cause you can't leave it all behind. So 2 steps forward, but your feet just won't leave. You've got your whole life in front of you, but to take the back seat you should burn that bridge just so you'll pick a side. Oh baby, I know you don't wanna say it, but you need me in your life. You're 2 steps forward, but your feet just won't leave. You've got your whole life in front of you, but to take the back seat you should burn that bridge just so you'll pick a side. Oh baby, I know you don't wanna stay beneath me in your life.
I can be alone and not be lonely, and I'm most lonely in the thickest of crowds. And I can long to escape to the silence, only to find the silence far too loud. And I can give someone so much love, my love will turn to hate. And I can give someone all my love, but my love won't make them stay. And ain't it just like this life, to turn a miracle into a sin? Beat me down and break me up and build me back together again. Have the biggest sail in the harbor and still not catch a gust of wind. And I can lie and stare above me and still not see the sky. And I can study the rarest of wisdoms and still not be rare or wise. And I can meet the woes of life with resistance and still not feel very strong. And I can search for God in the distance to find He's inside me all along. And ain't it just like this life, to turn a miracle into a sin? Beat me down and break me up and build me back together again. Have the biggest sail in the harbor and still not catch a gust of wind. Ain't it just like this life, turn a miracle into a sin. To beat me down and break me up and build me back together again. Have the biggest sail in the harbor and still not catch a gust of wind. Have the biggest sail in the harbor and still not catch a gust of wind. Sometimes I just ain't happy with the way life is going, and I get depressed. I say didn't choose this, don't want to lose this, don't want to cruise through this life. I say I do my best. Well, it's a line of fear that keeps me here in this save a lion's den. And if I scream and shout and just ignore the doubt, well, I just smile when I say I can't deny myself for who I am, 'cause I'm so scared I lose it all. So I just blame the other man, don't make your blood run cold. What I told, don't make your blood run cold. What I told, yeah. Ooh, so tired of just ain't happy with the way life is going, and I feel put down. They call me white collar, blue collar. What do you bother chasing dollars just to get that crown? But if you stop and think, does all that bling bring true peace of mind? Sometimes you gotta change yourself and blame no one else, and then you will find if you deny yourself for what you think you are, you just may find yourself, yeah, letting go of the scars. See, you wanna be free, but you don't want to see the pain inside. Though you may not know how to let it go, how to let it go, don't deny the change you feel inside. Give the pain away. I can't deny myself for what you think you are. Just may find yourself, yeah, letting go of the scars. I can't deny myself for who I am, 'cause I'm so scared I'll lose it all. So I just blame the other man, but don't it make your blood run cold? What I told, but don't it make your blood run cold? What I told, but don't it make your blood run cold? What I told, but don't it make your blood run cold? What I told.
the one and only Vince Lujan playing for you guys there. Also, we had a little Matt Grigsby and a little Ellie Meyer. Some awesome, awesome Dentonites. Tonight, we have got in the studio a very, very, very special cast of characters. There is a show coming up very soon at the Campus Theater called Bullshot that I am really, really excited about. And so we've got the star-studded cast of all the folks making this thing happen. Well, just a few of the folks making it happen, I'm assuming, actually. But let's go around and introduce everybody and let everybody know who they're listening to tonight, starting with you, Miss Georgina.
Georgina Ngozi from the Greater Denton Arts Council, working with Mike Barrow and his crew to support this really transformative kind of production. That's the way I'm experiencing it. We're going to move out of Denton, led by some of the characters sitting at this table.
That's right.
That's right.
Very cool.
My name is Jason Lee. I am actually starring as Bullshot Crummond, the titular Bullshot Crummond.
Yes.
Yep.
We had to sign a thing that said no bad language, Jason.
Right. So, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Sorry. My name is Xander Stubbs. I'm the co-director along with Ash Robbins, working with Jason Lee right here, who's really the only character, I think, here right now.
And also the only Jason Lee in
The only Jason Lee in town.
I think we should acknowledge that.
Ever.
In my mind.
And last but not least at the table.
I'm Mike Barrow. I'm the managing director for Denton Community Theater. And Jake, I have to correct you a little bit.
Okay.
You have to use the full name for this show.
Oh, okay.
Bullshot Crummond.
Bullshot Crummond.
The
Gotcha.
Evil Eye of Jabbar.
Wow.
And the Invisible Bride of Death.
Nailed it.
That.
So,
Perfect.
It's
that would be a perfect Twitter handle. I like it.
Wouldn't it?
I like it.
I think that might exceed the character limit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
It's an acronym, too.
I've never used Twitter.
It's also an acronym.
And Mike.
What?
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
we're all sitting there trying to.
No.
Anyways.
It's a continuation also of an earlier.
That's correct.
It is a sequel.
Yes, this is the second iteration here.
We did Bullshot Crummond about a year ago at the Black Box Theater down the street, and it played to sold-out houses every night. They just they loved it. It's really, really funny.
I love it.
Yeah, people need to know that. If you want to laugh, come see this show.
So this is truly a comedy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Through and through.
Farce is a good description for it, though.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love it.
It's very over the top. It's very
Low tech.
Oh yes. It's a parody of old action movies. So part of the charm is that you can see the strings.
What?
And the stage hands and
in pretty much every iteration of that.
Yeah.
But
very cool.
But it's going to be great because we're going to be using some of the newer technology we have at the theater as well as with our new screen that we have. That,
nice.
We've been able to do some wonderful projections.
Cool.
In lieu of a set piece. So this is going to be full of exciting things to see.
Well, and it's a well-deserved upgrade from the Black Box because the reason why I believe it's sold out, in the first place, is because all of the actors, the entire crew, and everybody, it makes my job and Ash's job incredibly easy because they're all so inherently funny and they understand the characters and they timing and everything. It is a perfect cast, and I think that's why the sequel even works. So
that's cool.
And it's an opportunity for those who couldn't get in at the Black Box to come and get in
That's
here.
Right. That's right.
We're running 3 days.
3 days. We'll be running the 19th, 20th, and 21st, which is Easter.
Awesome.
But we are selling tickets already for Easter afternoon, a 2 o'clock matinee.
It's a good post-church show.
It really is. It really is. And of course, one of the most special things about this show is that we are doing it in conjunction with Greater Denton Arts Council, and that's
really cool. And I wanted to get to camp out on that for a little bit, kind of talk through how that relationship came together, because there's Denton Community Theater, and there's Music Theater of Denton, and there's GDEC, and there's so much going on. And so this collaboration, I think, is really, really interesting. And I wanted to know where that came from and what brought this about, and some, what makes this show a little different.
Well, it's the truth of the matter is that there's a long-standing relationship between GDAC and Campus Theater, and one that has over the years changed, and maybe for a period of time was not as active. As a newcomer to this community, it was important to me to re-engage all of those people who make GDAC possible, and at the top of that list is a Mike Barrow. Seriously, along with some of his board members and my board members like Donna Trammell, I admire Mike and the work that he's doing in this community. I love theater. And he's a good guy to be in relationship with, and so we were talking to each other about how we could collaborate just in kind of a general way, nothing major or big, but just to kind of reset for our community that we are partners in bringing the best of the arts to Denton.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could have chosen a better person to do that with. So I'm trying to keep up with Mike. I've fallen a little behind in terms of the heavy promotion, but that's going to take off this week.
Very cool.
And we, as an artistic couple, will be inviting the community in to experience this show. Yeah.
Absolutely. When listening to what you said, and you're very flattering. Thank you, Georgina. But I feel the same way about you, and it was the key word that you said in there was partner, and that's what Georgina and I have strived since she's come to Denton is to make sure that everybody knows that organizations like the Denton Community Theater, we're partners with the Greater Denton Arts Council.
Yeah,
and we want to further that because it every time we do that, it helps every arts group in town.
Yeah.
And so if we can continue to do that, then I think we're all going to thrive.
Yeah. Well, the reason I wanted to bring it up is it takes a village to create all of this art, to have the Campus Theater and the PAC and all these other organizations and places and houses that create the infrastructure that allows Denton to be the creative community that it is. It takes a lot of people and a lot of folks to all come together and collaborate and work together to make these things possible. And I just think that's really, really cool, and I wanted to take my hat off to you guys for working on this project together, because I think it's going to be really, really interesting.
Well, and this is a great lead-in for us as well, because we are in September. Denton Community Theater starts our 50th consecutive season. It's so just cool. Unbelievable, isn't it? And for any community theater, that's a huge milestone to have that many consecutive years without ever missing a season. And we couldn't have been there without the Greater Denton Arts Council, because there were several years we didn't have a home.
Right.
And so our home was the Patterson Appleton, at that time the CVA. Yeah. And then we brought sets in, and we struck sets from the CVA. we had train lines in every play, because you never know when a train was going to go by the back of the building. So
that's right. And fire trucks.
That's right. That's right. And so this is, and now, of course, GDAC owns the Campus Theater, and that's our home. We're the management company. Yeah. And that just makes this even more special, that after all those years, we're still working this closely together and making this happen.
I love it.
Yeah, it really is.
Really, really, really fun. Okay, so let's get a little bit more into the show, and I want to talk with director and star a little bit here and get some of the highlights, some teasers to let everybody know what they're looking for. So we talked, it's a little satirical. Let's go a little more into what people are going to see.
Okay, well, not to get too spoilery, but the play kicks off with a
An invisible madman.
An invisible madman breaking out of a lunatic asylum.
It starts off
Okay.
as all great
So-
things do.
Sure. High culture. High culture.
High culture.
And
Well, and I think there was mention earlier of inspirations from all that, and I know that you, including like Get Smart, I think is one that you
Sure,
mentioned. There was a
sure,
lot of
sure.
informing your character. There was a lot of
yeah, there's a lot. Well, especially Travis's character.
Especially
who plays,
Travis, yes.
Who plays
Otto von Bruno.
Otto von Bruno, the second most dangerous man in the world.
Not the first.
Yeah, the first is I don't know, some Swedish guy. But and then we lead into some high octane car racing
It's got everything, you know. It's got the
with
glowing
dangerous
box.
hairpin bends, and you're going to see all
Yeah.
that on stage. We have figured out how to put a car race on stage.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
expect some Fast and Furious stage maneuvers.
There might be some train fights.
There will be some train fights.
some fighting on not trains fighting each other, but
I
like
was
people
wondering,
fighting on
yeah.
trains.
Okay.
You get to
Clarify that.
You should come purely just to see Jason actually deal with quicksand.
Yep.
The show alone is the ticket
you won't-
alone is worth
You
that.
will not believe
Yeah.
what we had to do to that stage to put a quicksand pit in there.
I was kind of curious about that too.
Sorry, Mike. I'm sorry you're just now hearing about this. But
I'm not hearing a word.
We tore it up this
Wait
morning.
to see
We'll
it,
fix
right?
it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
You always do. They always fix it.
That's right. That's right.
Well, very, very good. And about how long is the show?
Ooh, I don't actually know.
I would say with intermission, it's running about
It feels like a 2-hour.
2:30, 2:20.
Yeah.
And it does have an
it's a decent
intermission in it.
size.
There's
Yes,
a,
it does.
There's a 20-minute intermission.
Everyone will need a little time to reflect on what they're witnessing.
It's
so-
it's
Definitely need it.
structured like an old movie serial.
Okay.
So the first act is actually an episode.
Oh, okay.
And the first act is the episode, The Evil Eye of Jabbar, and then the second act is the second episode, The Invisible Bride of Death. So we end on a cliffhanger, and then you figure out how I got out of it after the
Not that he
intermission.
gets out of it. Not that, you know, you
No,
know
no, no.
that.
I definitely die at the end of the
It's-
first act.
Yeah. The suspense.
Sure,
You
sure.
know,
I like it. I like it.
My name's on the poster. I'm gonna be fine.
yeah, you'll be all right.
So I got to give you a little bit more background on why we're able to do this.
Okay.
show. This cast did this show last year, like I said, to sold out audiences and standing ovations.
Wow.
They were talking about the car chase. When they did the car chase down at the Black Box, people were exhausted by the end of it, and they were applauding the car chase. And you know how you've been to the Black Box, Jason,
Oh, yeah.
Jake. You know how small the Black Box is.
Yeah.
So just imagine we're having a car chase in the Black Box.
I love it.
It was incredible. But the cast had such a good time. They just did not want to give it up. And so
It might be the most
Yeah.
fun show we've ever done.
Yeah, I think so.
For me, at least.
For me,
It's-
I haven't done a whole lot here in Denton, but so far, yeah, it is for sure the.
It was a
funnest
wild
show.
ride.
So they started researching a sequel to this, and they found out about Bullshot Crummin 2, we'll say just for time's sake,
Yeah.
and got a hold of one of the authors, Alan Sherman, in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And at that time, it's still at this time, this property is not owned by any publishing company. And so we had to go directly through the authors
Yeah.
to get permission to do this. And it will be a Southwest regional premiere. This has only been done, I think, one time
It's only been done once in Portland.
in Portland. So
Wow.
this will be literally the second showing of this property. And we're so excited because Alan Sherman is coming on Saturday evening.
Very cool.
He will be here for the show, and he'll be there for a talk back after the show, a question and answer.
That's awesome.
And then we're going to have a little bit of a party for him afterwards, and you can get tickets to that as well online. So
He's also,
and-
he's also the original Bullshot.
that's
Yes,
right. He was
he
also
is.
the original.
He originated the role.
And on top of that, this is also the first time that the same main cast has played the first play
done
and the
both
second
plays.
one. Have done the sequel as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's the first.
Yeah, I've had
is
several
pretty neat.
back and forth with Mr. Sherman, and I think he's as excited about this as we are.
Oh, good.
He really is. He really is, and of course he talks like Bullshot in real life.
Okay.
Can't wait.
but nice man,
Yeah.
and he's really excited about coming to Denton and being a part of this.
I'm super excited. It sounds like it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be a really, really cool show, guys. Anything else we want to touch on before we wrap it up?
Dates are April 19th to the 21st,
Mm-hmm.
Easter weekend.
That's right.
7:30 show on Friday and Saturday, 2 o'clock on Sunday.
That's
Awesome.
right.
Tickets are available on DentonCommunityTheater.com.
Awesome.
That after party on Saturday
Right.
evening.
After party.
Yeah,
It's going to be a lot of fun.
There's like a $10 extra charge to come to the party, and
Totally worth
drinks
it.
and hors d'oeuvres, and get to visit with Mr. Sherman, and again, I
And the
think
cast.
And the cast.
cast
Cast will be
the
there.
cast will be there, and in character, of course. So.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Well, and they are characters. That's
They
I
are
dig it.
characters.
Well, very, very cool, guys. This is awesome. Congratulations on getting this show together. It sounds like it's going to be a really, really great time, and I'm personally looking forward to it. You've sold me for sure. Really, really excited
Thank you so
about
much.
it. Guys, if you are watching or listening or wherever you are consuming this right now, make sure you're checking it all out. Make sure you see. Give us the full name again.
Bullshot Crummond in The Evil Eye of Jabbar and The Invisible Bride of Death.
That alone should make you want to come.
Right? If that doesn't sell you, nothing will. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in with us here at DentonRadio.com. Make sure you tune in for the Denton Vibe every single Tuesday for all things the arts in Denton. We're right here on DentonRadio.com. Guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you,
Really,
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
You guys make sure you get your tickets. It is not going to be available forever. It's going to sell out. Prediction right here. You got to do it right now. Make sure you see it at the Campus Theater right here in the middle of downtown Denton. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.